at my apron too. What you doing with this long hands? What you doing? What that hands on me do? They kind of stretching that. Say I'm stretching and I'm relaxing. And enjoying the beautiful morning. I have been, oh, y'all can't even see what we doing. YouTube. All right. Here we go. So as y'all can see, the gold looks really good. I love it. Let's make sure everybody's camera is good. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is September 21st. 2025. A little nutmeg. She just feels so entitled. We have our solar eclipse in Virgo today. It's actually a really big day astrologically. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, baby girl. And when I tell you it's a big day astrologically, this solar eclipse that we're having today, let's start off with what we should have been doing. Because we should have been cleaning our homes, minding our business. I have this out here. This is what I used to paint a lot when I was young, guys. And this is actually some art supplies from maybe 15 years ago that I took out. And then this is my daughter's stuff that I'm just using. I'm going to put the paint in here though. And I'm just trying to have it just in case I need to use it. And then I don't have a paper plate. So here we are. So I'm doing the yellow today. So anyway, we have our solar eclipse in Virgo. Neptune, Saturn. I'm gonna go with this one. I'm trying to brighten it. Neptune, Saturn, and Pluto are all retrograde right now. In Aries. They'll be entering back in I might have to use my other one. The coverage on here is not as good as I would like. And this is a cheaper paint that I bought because the yellow that I do have, I'm gonna go ahead and save you for Arts and Crafts Day, baby. You'd be better on like wood and things like that. See, not even the wood, it's that dark. And this is a yellow that I have. Let's see the coverage on this one. Anyway, back to this solar eclipse. Oh, that's way better. It's brighter though. I may need to darken her a bit, of course, because I don't want it. You see how bright that is? Can y'all see? See, it's just a little too bright. I don't mind because this statue here, she's over 50 years old. So the yellow is not as yellow. I'm going to even go and get some stuff to fix the cracks in her today. I'm going to go to Lowe's and see what I can find, or Michael's, because she has cracks. She's very old. She's actually older than me. But I want to brighten her and cover a lot of these discolored things. Actually, I think because the undertone is dark, I think I'll be okay with this yellow, especially if I only do one good coat. Anyway, let's get back to, ay Dios mío, nutmeg, you are just too much. Let's get back to this eclipse that we're having today, because it's actually very serious what's going on here. This is actually the energy of civil war and unrest. It's not about you right now. Sorry about that. And it's her birthday. She turns 1 today. Just out of line. Anyway, civil unrest. And what made me go live now is because I wanted to come down and paint Kali. And I was up. I got up early, like I always do, and then laid there wondering, why am I up this early? I don't like being up so early, but I do it every morning anyway, so I need to just get my ass up. Anyway, with this solar eclipse, it's going to put you in 2 different brackets. And I talked about this on my Patreon on Friday, and I actually had a vision, and what's making me want to talk about my vision is it seems like other people are having the same vision, where you're being separated and ascending. There's some type of ascension going on within the next couple of days. I feel like the ascension, as far as your soul is concerned, has already happened, because that is what I felt happening Saturday morning. But I feel like it can happen from 2 days before, today, up until, let's give it the 24th, by the end of this week. Yeah. That the ascensions will be complete. And I don't know I don't know who this is for. I don't know. I do know that there are a lot of people that this will affect, because as I was watching the ascension, it seems like there were people whose energy was left in a very dense experience. So I don't know what you may have done in this lifetime, or how you may have accumulated what you have. I don't know. I do know that there are people left in a very dense experience. And then there are some that are elevated. And I want to be clear, this has nothing to do with religion. I feel it more has to do with who you are. And whatever you focus on, hello, chosen. Hey, baby girl. And whatever you focus on over the next, I don't know how many days, but that will be your reality, if that makes sense. So think positive. There was a time last year where there was some retrogrades happening. And I remember telling everybody on my Patreon, get your emotions together, because it was something with Jupiter. That's what it was. Jupiter was retrograde. She back again. I'm so sorry, guys. She's so spoiled. It's my baby. That's my little moo. That's my little boom boom. Yes, I know you want grandma attention, but it's enough. Not right now. I'm sorry, guys. That's my little muffin, though. I love her. And she's so used to it being about her. Oh my gosh, I'm having the hot flash now. And she don't listen, as y'all can see. And I'm having a hot flash. I gotta fan myself. Back to this solar eclipse. Just like I said back then, that if take this yoga flyer, that if you focus on a said problem or said fear, it will expand it. Now, I'm not an astrologer, so I don't know if Jupiter is retrograde right now. I do know Saturn is, because I keep up with Saturn. I'm very Saturnian. I do know Pluto is, because Pluto came out of Capricorn. Thank God. And then is retrograde in Aquarius. It's a thing. It's a thing. And it will actually go back into Capricorn, I think, in the next couple of days or so. I'm not sure because again, I'm not an astrologer. I'm just telling you the energy that I feel. Okay. What I will say, it's going to be a very dark time for a lot of people over the next 6 months. I don't know. I feel like everybody is going to have something annoying them, like, because it's life, it's what it is. But there's going to be something that happens that's going to be it's like history making. I mean, I think we are living in history making times. I would think so. I don't know if y'all agree, but I feel like we are very much in a history making time. But now, this is more about civil unrest. Okay. It's actually very serious because, from what I understand, that a lot of the transits that are happening now, they happened during the Civil War of the United States. But I'm hoping that nothing like that comes about and people more have this debate within themselves about what is right within their soul, you know? So this is actually a very serious time. I really feel like people need to really sit down with yourself and find out what it is you really want in life. And this is not about material things. This is about happiness. This is about happiness. And until you fully understand until you fully understand what makes you happy. There we go. Boom. And have control over your mind and what you allow in, you will not see the happiness that you are seeking. I know that may sound a little harsh, but it is the truth, my loves. It really is. It's good for us to have these moments of being accountable. Christians think the rapture is coming. I thought the rapture came a couple years ago. I could have sworn they said it was a couple years ago. So I'm now confused of how many raptures happen with the Christians. How many raptures are there? Because I could have sworn a couple years ago there was a rapture coming at that time. But I guess now the rapture is here again. I don't know if that's it. You know, what I will say, there is an ascension happening. And I don't think it has anything to do with religion. It has to do with your soul and who you are as a person. I will definitely have to put more than one coat on here. And this is a lot brighter, but you know what? She is still in her yellow. I want to come in and fill in this whole area with gold swirls that go according to what's happening here. But right now, I'm just trying to get the yellow filled in. I think I'm gonna need a smaller brush for that area. Anyway. What I will say is ascension is here. Y'all will feel it. And to focus on positive things. I would even say, don't even look at politics right now. That might upset you, you know, and take you down a whole rabbit hole that you don't need to even be entertaining, because it's all theatrics. It's all a bunch of bullshit, you know. I'm thinking about getting to a point where I don't even entertain anything that has to do with politics at all, because you can't trust none of them. All of them will sell your ass down the river. Hello, hello, TikTok. I know this is a lot brighter, but I trust that I at least got it out of the dark, dingy looking look. Catty, you'll never look dingy. I'm so sorry for saying that. It was just stained a little bit, baby. That's all. But this needed a brightening up. Nutmeg, she just does what she wants to do. She's back up here again. No. Don't you try to cuddle up against my hand. No, ma'am. No. No, ma'am. No. Nutmeg. She can't help herself. She's so busy. What she wants is to be held. Ma'am, you are not a... And then she's fighting to be on my desk. And she only does this when I'm live. I'm telling you. It's always the ones you love that be coming for you. Now she gonna rub up against me, because she knows I love her. But today ain't the day. No, this ain't the time right now. me get this paint from off of there. I have so much paint all over this brush. There you go. Now I'm going to mix this yellow with something and see if I can come up with a little bit darker and use that as the second coat. Ay, Dios mío. I agree with you, Chosen. These ascensions can be rough. They can be. This one, though, I think the work has been done. I think it's just, I don't know, because I didn't see the people who were ascending. What I saw with the ascension, honestly, was that you were moving into your soul group, where you've been down here receiving messages from your soul group this whole time. And now we're moving into the soul group. I think I'm going to mix it in here. Or incorporating with them in some way. That's what I saw. There's a little, I don't know, I guess I must have, this is a pen. Anyway, I can use this. Anyway, that's what I saw is the ascension. And it actually did not seem prickly. It seemed very natural. And I don't know who is ascending. I do know that the energy that was under the people that ascended was very dense. And I do know that some of you guys, and this is a tip, I would suggest that you do some type of mental exercise where you check your surroundings and make sure no one is not holding on to your coattails. I was looking for a deck of cards that I have. I don't have it here and I'm not getting up to go get them. It's one of my tarot cards. And in that deck, the person is riding a sleigh. It's like their vehicle. And as they're riding and they're getting somewhere, their horses are taking them. Behind them are people holding on with a string, trying to be carried with them. It's like baggage being carried. And that is something that you may want to clear up. I don't want that, but I'm going to throw you away. That's old. Put a little bit of red in here and just to kind of see what we come up with. That might be too much. We're going to see. So yeah. This is too creamy. I don't want a creamy orange. I'm gonna add the cheaper acrylic and just see if it bring it a pop. I got this from Dollar Tree, but it's because I needed a bright yellow and I didn't want to ride the Hobby Lobby. And now here I am on a Sunday. You know, Hobby Lobby is not open on no Sunday. Now that's orange. I don't want that. Okay, so that is not the color I wanted. I'm trying to think of how to get it brightened without wasting it and get it to where I want it. Like, what's the path? Anyway, let's get back to the solar eclipse. But that is really which the biggest thing is to not, you don't have to cut ties, like never speak to people again, but you have to really be careful of who's trying to ride your energetic wave. That's one of the big things about this. And let people know. And don't be afraid to be happy. That's really another thing. I'll mix it with the yellow and just see if I can get it to. And it's not about showing off your happiness, but you need to be happy. Okay, that's a lot better. There we go. That's what I want right there. Now, can I get it to hold and keep the color? I'm hoping I can. See, this one is a lot darker. Can y'all see the difference in that tone? And that's the yellow that I'm going for. Because this was still too bright. So I knew I was going to have to darken it. But once I put the yellow on her and I saw the coverage wasn't good, I was like, oh, no. So I mixed her with a heavy coverage. Let's see if this works. But I like the yellow that I just made. So I am happy about that one. What else about this solar eclipse? Don't come into it thinking that you don't have any problems. I like that better. Yeah. So don't come into this experience like, oh, my life is perfect and because you'll get the smackdown. You want to just focus on the peace, the happiness, the tranquility that you can achieve now. Stay focused on your own business and your own issues. You know, like mine is now finding a balance between work and home, because after my ex-husband passed away, I'm so happy about this yellow. I started focusing more on my home life. I started focusing on my children and what was important to them. Uh, and that to me became my priority. But the good thing about it though is I had already done the work on Patreon. So Patreon, without me being live every day, it can run on its own because I have thousands. Well, I wouldn't say thousands because am I at 2,000 videos? I think I am. So I can put the S on it. I can put the S on it. I do know I'm over 1,700 videos. I know that much, but I don't really keep up because I stopped posting every day, 3 times a day, summer of last year. I started slowing down a lot. So the main thing about Patreon right now is about being live, making sure my live classes, because that's the main reason why people come to it, honestly, is to have access to me to ask me anything. And I love that. I love that. Um, and I will say, put your happiness first. One of the things I learned reading Outwitting the Devil is that we lose because we don't put ourselves first. And people who are used to taking advantage of you, they will try to make you feel bad. Let me pull that out for doing that. I'm gonna cover the baby's outfit. I'm gonna paint her pink anyway. So I got a little yellow on the baby's outfit. I'm like, I don't want to mess it up, but she's got to be painted pink anyway. And I think that pink will cover it. So yes, my loves, we are going through an ascension. Kelly, you are looking fabulous, girl. Fabulous. Oh, I got a little paint on you right there. Ay, Dios mío. Yes. So that's the main thing about this eclipse. It happens this afternoon. If you're in the East Coast like me, it'll be around 3:54 p.m. So you can go outside and put your little solar eclipse stuff on, your glasses. I'm not sure if we can see it from the US though. So you might have to go online and watch it from there, which I think will be fine. It'll preserve your eyes because it's not good to look at solar eclipses anyway. They're very bright, they can blind you. I think the last one we had in the US that you could see was in 2016. Could have been 2016, 2017, maybe 2017, because I was living in my in my home at that time. And it was after, well, not after my divorce, but I had already separated from my ex-husband. So it's crazy that that's how my timelines go. Before marriage, after marriage, before divorce, after divorce, you know. Now, what you should do for this solar eclipse today is take a spiritual bath. I would suggest something simple, some white vinegar, some salt, some Epsom salt, something that's just going to cleanse your aura. If you want to read a Psalms over it, you can do that as well. My spirit guides are saying Psalms 51. I don't know what Psalms 51 is. That's what I'm hearing. About favor, Psalms 61. Good luck, favor, blessings in your life. But that's what I'm seeing, my loves. Very much a time to cleanse yourself and walk into your new without any of that crazy baggage. And if you are coming into this time with turmoil, I don't know what to tell you. Because it's already going to be rough over the next 6 months, period. And do not follow the energy of the masses of hysteria and craziness. If something comes up on your TikTok timeline that brings on rage and hysteria, try to have some self-control and move on from it. Don't even comment on it because people are crazy. They are stalkers. Okay? So just be careful. I wish my eyes could see the TikTok screen, but it's like across the table and I can't read nothing, guys, on from TikTok. But I appreciate y'all so much. I wish I could screen. I can barely see YouTube because I got it across the table a little. Well, it's on the other end of the table. So this morning, I saw this really cute pink wedding dress on my For You page. I was actually setting up TikTok to come live. And it was a little young couple, so cute. They got married yesterday. And they had a big, beautiful pink wedding. And to me, that was a sign, a good omen for the well-being of our people. That is the perfect yellow right there. Thank you, Kylie. You were like, my dress cannot be this friggin' color to Ross. Kylie said, no to Ross. I don't want creamy yellow. I want nice and bright sunny yellow. I know that's right, Mama. And we got nice and bright sunny yellow. I know that's right, Mama. But I'm happy I was able to lift us out of that orangey, because it was 50-year-old. You know, we don't want that. Honestly, I think it's more than 50 years old. But this is what I wanted to do this morning. Get her yellow covered up. And put some, anywhere I see a little white spot, I'm just going to put the yellow there. Only because those will be little pops of yellow that come through in this gold swirly thing I'm going to do here with the paintbrushes. Because that's a bunch of swirly. Actually, I'm going to go in and put little yellows in all them little spots. And then I'm going to paint his shirt and paint down here yellow. So we got a few little. There's going to be a lot of gold swirls happening here. So I'm going to let this dry with the yellow. And then I'm going to come in with my doo-doo-doo. I keep doing my doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo. Make sure my girl is covered. Fabulous yellow. Look at that yellow. Just boom. Just, okay. I was an art major. When I went to college, I went to school for business, and my second major was art. And I used to paint a lot and play golf a lot when I was in college. That was things I loved to do. And then I got married and had children and stopped doing things that I love to do. So me painting, Kali, is kind of me doing something that I really love. Like, I love art. That side of the brush is not good. And Kali needed the painting. She was just, I looked up at her. I said, baby, what is going on? What happened? And she was like, I'm 50. And you got me in this friggin' garage. Nobody taking care of me. But I took her from my mom because my mom didn't use her growing up. I did. My mom had her because my grandmother gave her to my mom. And then, well, my mom bought it for my grandmother, and then my grandmother gave it back to my mom. And my mom just kept it in the closet. So Kali was just sitting there, but she was being fed. Like, my mom had her altar, of course, in her closet. So Kali had her water, her coins, and, all the things she loved. Her honey, all of that was still popping in the closet. But I wanted her. She came with me. And believe it or not, I put her in the seat belt in the passenger seat of my truck when I drove down to North Carolina and moved, child. The kids was in the other car with my oldest daughter with all the stuff they had packed. And me and Kylie was riding in my truck. She was in my passenger seat. And we did this. Okay. We did that. I don't know if I want him to have the same yellow, even though he does. But I think I could make him a little darker. I'm gonna think about it. Oh, that's what I get for talking shit. Okay, we're gonna do that again. I think I can. I think it'll be fine for him to wear a yellow shirt. He needs another coat. But I think we good with the yellow. I think I want his shirt a little darker. Can y'all see it on YouTube? No. So my introduction to her, I repeat this story over and over because I love Kali so much. My introduction to Calidad del Cobre, this is who this is, who I'm painting today, is when I was a little girl, I asked my mother who she was. And my mom said, she is the saint that protects the children. I grew up Catholic, as you can see. But we went to a United Methodist church. That's so weird. We went to St. Paul United Methodist in Fort Washington, Maryland. Well, that was the church we grew up in because my mom moved from where she grew up in Virginia to, to Fort Washington. And that's the church that she just loved. She loved the pastors. She loved everything about the church. So we just went there the whole time. But we were Catholic and we went to a United Methodist church. I think that's where I get my freedom to just be. And I understand so many different religions because even when I became an adult, I started going to Union Temple in Southeast DC. And that's with Pastor Wilson and them. And he will invite Louis Farrakhan to come and talk at the church. And when Minister Farrakhan will come, the church will be packed. He's had TD Jakes there. He's had plenty of pastors there. And I was just always like listening to Mr. Farrakhan. So I started paying attention to Buddhism. And it was amazing to say the least. And I was just like, wow. To me, once I started paying attention to religion, and all this was happening when I was in college, by the way, because when I joined Union Temple, I was in college. And when I started researching different religions, and what made me research religion was I was taking a class. I can't remember the name of the class, but we would talk about religion and theology, astrology, all of that type of stuff. And we talked about the Bible and we talked about the authors of the Bible and we had to do research on it. This is why once I started doing research on the Bible, that's when I said, I started making my own opinions and was like, wow. So, it was let me not get into that. Anyway, so I started just kind of being like, okay, I'm a kind of do my own thing when it comes to religion per se. And if I was to pick a religion, I'll be a Buddhist, because I'm very much into what you put out into the earth, and what you focus on will matter, and what you put out into the world you'll receive back, and the yin and the yang. And I'm very much into that, the flows. But Kali, she's just always been consistent, even if I've, like, as a child growing up, you know what I mean? It was never a question. And if I ever had a problem as a child, I would come to her and ask her, and she will fix it. I've never come to Calidad and asked her as a child, and she didn't fix it. And I will attest it to her fixing it. Put one drop of red up in there to see if I can get it a little darker. I will attest it to her, because if I didn't ask her, I would notice it wouldn't happen as smoothly. So I would just be like, oh, Kali must have fixed it. Yeah. So I have heat flashes, guys. I'm almost 50. I'm going through premenopause. Anyway, I went into a whole religion thing. But that's how my relationship with her grew. This is better. It's a little orangey, but I would rather the darker. I guess he's okay with the yellow shirt. Actually, I'm not mad at that. I'm really not. I'm not mad at the yellow. I'm really not mad at it. I was at first, but it's not bad. I'm going to come and get this on the side here. And then we're going to try to just keep it yellow, but even that out a bit. I need to let it dry. There we go. So I got her yellow done. Thank goodness. Now I'm going to come off live, guys, because I've come on here and chatted y'all up enough. I'm going to come on and do a sale. The heat that is coming off of me, it's just, I can't take it. Get all up in them crevices there too. Yeah, I like the yellow. Because we need to have one of them with a yellow shirt on. And I'm changing the color of the people on Kali. You know, I don't think I'm going to leave her fully Caucasian. She's going to have a little brown to her. She's going to have a little tint. She might be light skinned, you know what I mean? But she ain't going to be white. Because Yemaya was not white. Or Shun was not white. And then when I come back on, we'll plaster her, do her blues and her browns. And then the last thing I'll do is cover her. Thank y'all for joining me. Look at her today. She looks so much better and bright. Yes, calidad. Ay, Dios mío, you look gorgeous, mama. Just, you know. So I'm going to take care of her. And we're going to do some pinks too, because we got the baby in pink and he got pink on. All right, my loves. But her gold is looking fabulous. Look at her base. Just perfect. So let me put her down. Let me let her dry. All right, my loves. I may come back on and do a reading. I don't know. But I do know I'm going to go get me some well-needed cooling down and wash this stuff off. I love you guys. I will see you later. Bye, TikTok. Bye, YouTube.